Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Today we're going to talk about the upcoming full moon lunar eclipse that is happening in Pisces on September 17th, which is next Tuesday. It's a really big deal. It is the first eclipse that we're going to see in Pisces in a long time, that we haven't seen in a long time, and that we will begin to see more of a theme for next year when the nodes officially enter into Pisces and Virgo. So this eclipse is kind of foreshadowing a little bit of the energy that is coming next year, and it's also closing a long cycle since the last time we had these powerful types of eclipses. So Pisces is a realm of spirituality, which invites us all into that space. And what we're going to do today in this broadcast is look at the themes, look at the energies of this eclipse. What do they mean for us? And also look at the chart and understand this from a deeper perspective. Also, by looking at the gene key that this eclipse is happening on, which is the 36th gene key and the 36th gate in human design. So before we dive into the broadcast, I want to say hi to everybody that's here and thank you for watching this video. Hello, Bernadine. Hello, Jeanette. Hello, Katz. Hello, Valerie. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, Valerie. Yep, Virgo season. We're fully in it. So, we have this beautiful community that I want to invite you into. It's called the Global Community. It is free to join. I'm getting ready to create a multi-day event to help us connect, but also calm and take care of ourselves in general in our lives. Hello, Heather. Welcome in. And this is where I host all of my courses. And we do have some amazing courses that are happening right now. We have an astrology course, 2 astrology courses, a goddess astrology course, as well as a interpreting astrology school and mentorship. And it's not too late to join us in those classes. So please check them out. All the links to everything that we have happening and going on are found in the description of this video. Sorry, my dog is like standing under me because she thinks I'm going to feed her. But my husband is taking care of that. So, yes, very exciting. Lots of fun things going on. And I can't wait to share it all with you guys. So, is there anything else I wanted to talk about before we dive in? Let me think. Yes, this Friday, I am hosting our very first here on YouTube. I used to do this stuff on Periscope. I don't know who remembers Periscope, but I used to do these types of broadcasts on Periscope just for fun. And I want to try it here on YouTube and see how it goes. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to do games and free mini readings, and do the way I can describe it is basically I'll have you guys it's kind of like a raffle kind of a thing. It's hard to describe, but when you're there, you'll have so much freaking fun. And so whoever wins is going to get free readings. So very excited about all of that. And join us on Friday to have some fun. Okay, so let me share my screen real quick. So here we go. And please let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. My Wi-Fi is jumping kind of up and down, but Starlink sometimes does that. So hopefully it figures itself out as we get going. So here is a page from my book, Seasons and Stargates, which is available. It is an astrology guide for 2024 and 2025. So make sure you get your copy. But we are looking at this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Now, the stargates that this energy activates are that of Arcturus, Orion, Pegasus. These are energies that can really elevate the frequency to higher dimensional understanding. A lot of this has to do with Hermetic alchemy. And Pegasus is such a beautiful energy because he is the horse that helps us fly up into the heavens. Horses represent freedom, and wings also represent freedom, and they represent a higher perspective. And so reaching up towards the heavens is something that this beautiful, basically winged horse is helping us to do at this time during this eclipse. So it's going to be really beautiful. Now, the chakra that this eclipse activates is the chakra above the head, which is basically the connection to the oversoul, not just the soul here on earth, but the oversoul, and the connection to all of spirit and the universe and the frequency of like vibration. And in this place, it really expands our consciousness, and it really does take us into the Akashic records. And Pisces is this Neptunian world of like expanded awareness that is very much a representative of the Akashic records. Now, the system of the body that this eclipse activates is the circulatory system, which has to do with information flowing through. So one of the things that we're going to talk about is how this eclipse has to do with us unblocking any type of blockage that is present in our lives subconsciously. And the gene key, again, that this eclipse activates is the 36 gene key, which is found in the gene keys chart, and then also in the human design chart as the 36 gate. So this full moon lunar eclipse is happening on September 17th, 2024 at 25 degrees and 40 minutes of Pisces. And it is a big deal because it will foreshadow what we are going to be dealing with when the nodes finally enter into Virgo and Pisces in 2025. The energy of this eclipse will actually feel crazy, but it will be good in a good Pisces nature. The positive is that this eclipse is with the North Node, and North Node eclipses bring up destiny, life path. Right now, the North Node is in Aries, so it's asking us to be courageous and to move forward and take action and like trust and believe in ourselves that we can do it. It is guiding us towards our destiny and away from past toxic behaviors or anything karmic that gets in the way of you actually moving forward in life. Pisces invites us to trust in the divine. It opens us up to spiritual experiences that can take us beyond the physical. It calls us to higher frequencies and to connect with our higher self and intuitively receive information from this higher realm. Pisces can also be about dreams and also illusions. So we can either be super connected or out of our minds, crazy, right? There's like these two extremes that happen with Pisces energy. It really all depends on whether we are ready for the expansion of our human experience. Pisces rules the subconscious mind, and in this realm, we can find both dreams and nightmares alike. Now, in general, a full moon is going to heighten our emotions, make our feelings seem louder, but also call us to not run away from them. Full moons are times of celebration where the culmination of the moon cycle has arrived and we get to see what we have manifested. And to top it off, because this is an eclipse and we are in eclipse season, the energy is even more magnified, right? This is the universe inviting us into change. Hello, Lish. Welcome in. It's opening up portals and opportunities for us to revolutionize our lives and evolve. A South Node eclipse is about healing karma, while a North Node eclipse, which is what this one is about moving forward towards our destiny and focusing on the future. And the eclipse energies, they last for about 6 months. So their energy and the lessons unfold during this 6-month period until the next set of eclipses arrives. So eclipse seasons also close out the last 6-month cycle in our lives from the last eclipses that we saw. So we're going to look at the actual astrology chart of this eclipse and then come back to looking at some of the energies here. So let me go. Give me 1 second here. Just want to make sure I've got the right image. Let's move this over. And we can take some notes as we talk about it. So, yes, I know. I'm so glad that you are here. Okay. Let's see. Let's go with black. All right. So how do you know that there is a full moon happening? Well, you've got the moon and the sun making an exact opposition to each other. So there's a duality and there is a polarity that is present when you're looking at full moons. Now, when the full moon or the new moon is close to the nodes, these are when the eclipses happen. And you can see that this eclipse is close to the north node, while the sun is close to the south node. And that's how you know this is a north node eclipse. One of the biggest and most important aspects about this eclipse is the fact that it is conjunct Neptune. It's with Neptune and also with Saturn. This is 3 planets in one sign is called a stellium. And so this is a stellium in Pisces, which just strengthens the energy of that sign and whatever theme the planet holds. So Saturn is our authority. Saturn in Pisces is a journey of us stepping into our wisdom, also feeling boundless and uncomfortably boundless and trying to find rules and structure in a realm that is very boundless, that it seems very difficult to do. The moon in Pisces is activating the emotional realm, and a Pisces moon is a really beautiful, loving, and compassionate energy that has the potential to help you tune into your higher self, your intuition, the subconscious mind. It also can show you things that are hidden, deep within the subconscious that are not very pretty. And in a shadow sense, Pisces is really about like lunacy, lunatic comes from like that energy. And it's about psychosis, like literally being crazy. Pisces also rules, Neptune rules, and especially in Pisces, it rules the media. And sometimes with media, you can get truth or you can get illusion. And so it's like these two realms that you are kind of playing in between, that are sometimes it's full clarity and sometimes it's full confusion. So we can be in any one of these spectrums depending on the energy that we're embodying and how this is affecting us in our own chart. The ruler of this moon is Neptune. He rules the sign of Pisces, and Neptune is at 28 degrees of Pisces, getting closer and closer to ending its transit through Pisces, which is a big deal. So next year, both Neptune and Saturn are going to be moving into Aries together. And they're going to be going like Aries and then back into Pisces and Aries back into Pisces a couple times till eventually they officially both enter Aries and they conjunct. So they're not going to make a conjunction in Pisces at all, even though Saturn is moving closer to Neptune. However, here they are together, and this is like an important theme. So Saturn can also be like the wise sage that teaches us about spirituality. It's like the Buddha, I guess you could say, in a way, spiritual connection that has meaning, that helps you find more maturity within yourself, that helps you. I think some of us can feel like it's easier to set goals for ourselves with Saturn in Pisces. And sometimes we can feel like it's not easy at all because of the expansiveness that Pisces, that the energy of Pisces brings into the picture. And so we're looking at an eclipse that is like fully magnified by the ruler of the eclipse and activating all of these themes of spirituality, dreams, the subconscious mind. The positive thing, the really positive thing, is that this is a North Node eclipse, which means that it's sort of bringing us into this dream of the future. And with Saturn there, it's almost like, well, the dream is possible. The dream can happen. We can set our minds on a spiritual path. We can set goals on a spiritual path. And we can very wisely walk through this realm of expansiveness. And as we do that, we find deeper wisdom within ourselves. This is also, though, can be a very emotional energy because Pisces is a water sign, and the water signs are all about the emotions. So it can be a very emotional time for you. Eclipses can be like really beautiful, but usually they're like uncomfortable, because they highlight things that need to be seen and like cleared. Now, a North Node eclipse is going to highlight things that can help you like clear the path to the forward movement. And so they are more powerful in that sense compared to a South Node eclipse, which is really focusing more on the past and letting go of the past. This eclipse is like, you have an opportunity here to launch forward, to revolutionize your life and keep it moving forward. And if you know how to do that wisely, you will find your way through like the land of, I don't know why it's coming up, the land of Oz. It's like you will find your way back home through the journey of expansiveness. If that makes any sense. These are words that are just coming through right now. So that's a big deal. These are all energies here that are with the eclipse. So where is this in your chart is really important to look at, because that's where the energy is being highlighted. Now, it is important to note that there are a lot of retrogrades during this eclipse. Pluto is retrograde and is also in Capricorn, and we are not, this is going to be, and this is from, you know, something that the Leo King pointed out when I was watching his video, is that this is the last lunar eclipse that we are going to see with Pluto in Capricorn. So there's a lot of themes about closing out the last cycle. How many years since 2008? I think 16-year cycle, something like that. Since 2008, and literally letting go of like the last basically 16 years of our lives. It's like kind of a big deal. And this is the last time that we're going to see Pluto in Capricorn for the rest of our lives. And it'll transition fully into Aquarius in November. And then we're going to... So this is really like a last little bit of like taking out the trash. Oh, I wonder why the Starlink is not working. It's coming back, but it's having trouble. So let's see. I'm going to text. Sometimes the car blocks the Starlink. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't actually know what I was saying. But anyways, are you guys following along? So this is the last eclipse we're going to see with Pluto in Capricorn. And we are like, there's a big theme of, like a huge theme of ending cycles and like clearing away for a fresh new start in a way. So this is an opportunity for a fresh new start, for a fresh new path, for actually finding beautiful ways to connect to our higher self, to connect to things like meditation and the divine, and channel the divine. Like a lot of people talk about that being like, that's heaven on earth. That's embodying heaven on earth. That's what Pisces is really all about. And it helps us to remember the spiritual. But the key is also to bring that spiritual into the present moment, which is what Virgo represents, and where the also where Mercury is. And Mercury in Virgo is strongly about getting organized in your thoughts, getting organized in your decisions, getting organized in the space that you live in your everyday life, getting organized in your communication. That is what Virgo just in general represents. But it's like, organize your thoughts, put things in order, and you will feel better. There's a seriousness too, because this eclipse also has Mercury oppose Saturn, and it brings in a serious energy. Like this is like, it's not a joke. And we need to really fully pay attention to what is happening here and what we're being called to do. So it's the clearing for a new path to emerge. It's the belief in yourself, Aries, that you've got what it takes, that you have the courage to take on this new path. You have the power and the instinct and like the backing to like literally move you forward in life. And it's towards the future, because that's what the North Node is. It's towards your destiny. So it's a dream that you have that carries you. It's the hope and the dream that you have of the future. And because this North Node is in Aries, it's like, yes, I can. And so that belief and that faith, and Pisces is also faith, will carry you forward. And so you have to take this seriously. You have to really think about, where in my life am I holding myself back? Where in my life am I blocking myself from reaching my highest goals, my highest potential, and a deep, full, powerful connection with God? Like, where in my life am I blocked? And it's about clearing those blockages so that things can flow more easily. I see water like being blocked, and then the eclipse helping you to like understand where you have those blockages, and then the water begins, like it's dammed up, but then it allows you to like clear the energy and move that and flow that energy through. So it's like a river. It's like the river is freed and the river flows down to the ocean, and that creates like the power to connect to God, because that ocean represents the Akashic, that ocean represents the divine. And let's see what else is happening during this eclipse. This eclipse is also getting sextiled by Uranus, and sextile and trine, which is a really positive thing, which means it's positive change, it's exciting change, it's change that like, oh, thank God, this is going to be fun. This is going to be cool. Now, Uranus is also a planet that is retrograde, and so that can be challenging in itself. Because a lot of things are retrograde right now. It can feel like the energy is not fully moving forward, but in a sense, I do personally feel like it is. I feel like we've been getting set up for a launch, and this definitely feels like a launch. And when Uranus is retrograde, the revolution that it brings is internal. And this is a very internal process that we're all like individually going through that will ultimately affect the collective. You have to do the work personally yourself first, and then it'll like help the collective. It'll eventually just naturally move into that collective energy. There is a powerful aspect that is also happening with Jupiter. So Jupiter here is actually squaring. It's like within orb of T-squaring the eclipse. And a square from Jupiter is not the same as a square from like Mars or Saturn. A square from Jupiter actually brings in potential, brings in opportunity, opens doors, especially with the sun and the moon. And a Sun-Jupiter connection, whether it's a sextile or a trine or a square or an opposition, is going to open the door for you to actually set in motion things that you are ready to take on. Like, look at all the support that we have to go on this like spiritual journey to find ourselves, Aries, right? The spiritual journey is Pisces, finding our wisdom, listening to our intuition, trusting our intuition, embodying heaven on earth, and through that journey, finding ourselves and finding our courage. And then to top it off, Mars is making a T-square to the nodes. And basically, what this is doing is it's saying you need to like pause for a moment and be like, where am I really? Where am I like tuning in? How am I doing on the path towards my own personal destiny? Check in with how far you've gotten, and look back for a second, but then like turn around and go forward. You know, it's like there's a check moment where you're like looking back and you're like, oh my God, I'm not going back. So I'm going to keep moving forward, but now I see where I'm at. Like, you have to acknowledge and become aware of those changes that are happening. And when you find the consciousness and the awareness, then you know if you need to realign yourself, then you need to realign yourself. If you're like, oh my God, I'm not doing good, I'm not going in the way that I want to go, then you need to realign yourself. If you're like, I got this, and I'm like moving forward and I love my path and I'm like going exactly in the right path and I'm trusting, then you're going to move forward. You know what I mean? Yeah, alignment is key. Thank you, Lish. That's my focus at the moment. Yes, totally. But the opportunities are there. And then what's even more beautiful is that Venus, which is the planet of love and beauty, which is ruling the south node. So let's backtrack. Mars rules Aries, and him T-squaring the nodes is activating the north node, which is, you know, forward movement, destiny, future. But Venus, which is currently ruling the south node at 23 degrees, is actually making a beautiful trine to Jupiter, which is another aspect, one of the most beautiful aspects that can bring in love, beauty, balance. Venus is strong in Libra. And earlier in the week, we will have seen, like a few days before this, we will see a grand trine in air with the moon, Venus, and Jupiter. So it's like, thank God, because things have been really difficult lately, you know? Things have been like intense. And now there's like a doorway or a portal. We're continuing on dealing with, you know, heavy things in our lives, but we have an opportunity here to commit to the right path. The other thing that's happening here is there is a trine from Pluto within orb to the sun, and a sextile from Pluto to the moon. And so there's like, look at how many trines and sextiles. Trines and sextiles bring in positivity, good feeling vibes, desire for harmony, peace, balance. That energy of compassion is really being welcomed and invited. But there is also the difficulty of like, well, you really do need to let go of what no longer serves and decide, like, you got to keep moving forward. Otherwise, you can get stuck in the past. And that's not going to serve anyone. So the other important theme between the two signs of Pisces and Virgo, which is where this eclipse is happening, is being present and knowing what's actually going on in your everyday life, in the reality of that you're living, and also finding the spiritual. So there's a balance. We're seeking balance between the two. Like, how do I bring heaven on earth, right? The frequency of heaven seems like it's out there. You don't really know. You can't really reach it. It seems up there, right? The idea of heaven, it's up there. I'm not there. And that's there's a separation. But heaven on earth is like, whoa, you can bring the two together in a really beautiful and powerful way. And this is a big theme of Pisces and Virgo, bridging heaven on earth. And you'll see when we look at the gene key that this is also a big part of it as well. So there's a lot. There's also, basically, there's like a grand trine because in Earth with the Sun, Pluto, and Uranus. And grand trines during this eclipse. And grand trines in Earth actually help ground us. So heaven on earth, you know? Wow. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, there it is. Pluto trine Uranus. It's like, again, positive, unexpected, but invited change, welcome change that is needed, change that's going to be like, oh yeah, this is going to feel good. This is fun. This is going to be fun. But also, like, we're still walking, right, through the shadows, and we will most likely get emotionally triggered because Mars in Cancer is an emotional energy. Taking action can be difficult with Mars in Cancer, and he is going to be going retrograde in this in Leo. And it's like emotions are something that we're going to have to learn to work with in terms of the things that we need to get done. Because emotions can really hinder us. They can also really help us. They can also be like beautiful gauges of direction. Like, emotions tell you the direction that you're going. So if something feels good, positive, like, go towards that feeling if it feels right. And that's the energy of, like, you know, the law of attraction. Joy and happiness and excitement attracts more of that. And then there are difficult things that need to be dealt with, but you don't have to move through it, or you can move through it no matter what you're feeling, and be gentle with yourself, but also learn the wisdom of what the emotion is teaching you. So if you don't feel like it, maybe you shouldn't. Or maybe you don't feel like it, but you know that you have to. So you, like, buckle up, buttercup. You know what I mean? Like, it's time to do this. Like, you committed. So you can't back down. You can't give up. Because if you give up right now, it's like all the momentum that this eclipse is like launching us forward into is going to go away. It's like literally not going to do anything for us. You don't want to miss that opportunity. Hello, Mama O. Hello, Hedgehog Cutie. Welcome in, Satnam. So that's the chart. I mean, it's a lot. And then one last thing, there's an opposition. Like all the planets are talking. There's also a square, a little bit less of a square from Venus to Pluto. Not as strong, but still there, that's the friction, right? The friction is the squares. The friction in relationship, healing the past through relationship. And the opposition to Chiron. You gotta heal, like deeply heal within yourself this deep insecurity that you don't have what you need. Hey, Dawn, that you don't have the courage, that you're not good enough, that you're a weirdo. Those are insecurities that get in the way of you like letting yourself be yourself. Just be yourself. Find the love of the self by being yourself. It's a difficult thing to do because you have to trust that it's okay to be you. You have to believe in your heart that it's okay to be you. And it's funny because in that way, through that energy, you're like, you find your strength and you find your courage and you're the hero that like jumps off the cliff and takes a leap of faith into the abyss of the magic. And then the magic starts unfolding. So, are you going to take that leap? This eclipse is going to be fucking insane. I hope that this makes us feel good. Look at all this that's going on. Like, I literally circled everything on this page. Everything is talking to each other. Like, I just realized that there is nothing uncircled. Everything is talking to everything else. Everybody's communicating. Everybody's like involved. This is a very involved, like it's a team. It's like teamwork here. Some things are like challenging us and some things are are clearing the path. Some things are opening doors. Some things are telling us you got to close these doors, but every single thing is being used. Every energy is being activated and everything has a lesson, a journey. And if we pay attention, there's a lot of details to pay attention to. We can listen and do the right and go and do the right thing for us, right? Whatever that is for us. That was quite the reading. So coming back to here, adding a little bit more to this energy, this full moon lunar eclipse is making a conjunction to Neptune, which we talked about, who is the ruler of Pisces, making a T-square to Jupiter, sextile trine to Uranus and Pluto. Mercury's making an opposition to Saturn and square to Jupiter. We went through all of that. So whatever energy or feelings that show up during this eclipse are going to feel expanded and exaggerated. But it's time to welcome in new feelings, new emotions, and more depth into our lives. We can unfortunately take things too seriously during this time, but sometimes we need to. We need to be serious about it, right? It's not all fun and games. We are invited to enjoy ourselves, but we also may feel at odds with ourselves. It can be a little bit of a confusing energy. Some of us are going to feel super intuitive and psychic, and others might feel like they're not in control and therefore fear what they see or hear physically. With Neptune retrograde during this time, we may find ourselves reflecting a lot. Hello, Peter. This is a big moment to stop and consider where you are at in life. Are you going in the right direction? Have you healed the past? Can you recommit to your destiny and choose to move forward instead of backwards? Can you trust in the divine will to guide you? Yes, Lish says these currents have been pulling apart, together, apart, and repeat. Yes, has been a lot. Yeah, me too. It is going to be an electric upgrade. Love that. So what I would love to do next, after we've, looked at the chart and read into the energies, is read about the 36 gene key in human design, because this is where the moon is during this eclipse. Bernadine says, in Pisces, I have Saturn at 26, so you've got some powerful conjunctions there. Nutella says double Pisces. Yeah, Pisces is going to have there's intensity, but it's intense for everybody. You have to look at your chart. Where is Pisces in your chart? And that's going to be a big deal just by itself, even if you don't have any planets there. And do I have any planets in Pisces or in any of these other signs? Because remember, everything is working together. They're like energy everywhere. So very important. So the reason we look at the gene key is because the gene key has this beautiful language of helping us understand deeper themes and vibrations and frequencies found within the realm. And it adds so much like power to the meaning of the eclipse. So this 36 gene key is an intense one. It actually moves from the shadow of turbulence to the gift of humanity, and then to the city of compassion. So we are literally, this eclipse is asking us to transmute the shadow of turbulence, which is basically defined here as the dark night of the soul. When we do that, when we transmute the shadow of turbulence, like we may be experiencing turbulence in our lives, is what that means, right? Like literally emotional turbulence. I'm feeling it. I'm sure you're feeling it too in different degrees, right? But at the same time, it is very important for you to pay attention, because there is always a light hidden within the shadow. There is always a gift hidden within the shadow that you need to find by looking within. And the gift is, when you transmute turbulence, it becomes humanity. And then when you elevate that frequency, it becomes compassion. And so this gene key is all about literally becoming human, like allowing yourself to be human. I want to read about the city of compassion, the Beatitudes. There is perhaps no better symbol for the entire journey from the 36th shadow to the 36th city than the life of Christ. In examining the 64 cities, one can see that certain keys appear to have very strong connections with certain mystical lineages or figures. The myth of Christ is one of these key repeating lineages, but the lineage does not so much concern the historical personage of Jesus himself as the frequency represented by him. The symbol of Christ on the cross is a powerful reminder of the truths inherent within the 36th gene key. It reminds us that we are each mortal and that there is a great beauty in our humanity, echoed in Christ's assertion that he was the Son of Man. People who do not understand the true relevance of the symbol of Christ on the cross may see this as an inglorious representation of a god. In most religions, the prophets or gods are seen as powerful, beautiful, or awesome, whereas the figure of a man dying helplessly on a cross appears to be a deep representation of a victim state of consciousness. However, it is this aspect of Christ that makes him such an approachable figure for so many people. The very fact that he is suffering makes him more human. This approachability is what sets the 36 cities so far apart from many of the other manifestations of the Siddhic level of consciousness. This is a city that spans the chasm between man and God, between being a victim and being enlightened. It speaks to every single human being and asks each of us to ask ourselves a single question. Why must I suffer? The answer to the question of suffering lies here within the 36th city. It is the same answer given to us by the 25th city. It is all about love. However, the universal love manifested through the 25th city is very different from the compassion expressed through the 36th city. Universal love almost has a distant quality to it, as though it came from the gods themselves. The 36th city, on the other hand, speaks in the language of man, since it can only flower through a journey of intense suffering. Such is the path of the 36th gene key. This is the flowering of suffering itself, and as such, it can no longer be understood through the word suffering. It is the fragrance released after the storm is over. And just like the 36th gift of humanity, this is a city that has to be earned. Beings like Jesus, who attained final liberation through this city, are the salt of the earth people. They are burnished over and over again through the trials their life brings to them. And once they have made that magical step away from seeing suffering as negative, it stops being so. It actually becomes their muse. At the citic level, your own suffering becomes so universalized that it encompasses all humanity. All boundaries of self dissolve. Suffering and compassion merge into one as your human heart explodes with the feelings of all human beings, their pleasures and their pain, their aches and their longings, their vices and their virtues. At this citic level, as the programming partner of the 6th city testifies, peace reigns supreme. In every mythic journey, there must always be a final trial, a moment of utter hopelessness and helplessness, like Jesus hanging bereft on the cross, crying out in agony to his God for understanding. These moments, I'm getting full chills all over my body, these darkenings of the light come to us in life not so much to test us, but to cut us so deeply with our own humanity that we are reminded of the awesome power of our own compassion for all our fellow men. It's basically the death of the ego. Such trials give us the opportunity to make huge evolutionary leaps out of our shadow states and into the higher frequencies. There are many traditions which speak of the city in terms of miraculous transformations made by truly evil beings who, in a moment of utter horror and complete surrender, make the leap straight from the shadow state into the citic state. This is one of the very few gene keys that allows such miraculous leaps of consciousness. Those in whom the city has awakened tend to keep moving into those areas of life where the light is most darkened. They usually flourish during periods of crisis or war, to live and work among the poor and wretched. The 36th city goes on longing to explore the frontiers of consciousness within form, and after a certain point, it ceases to care or identify with its own security at all. Anyone manifesting the 36th city has at some point sunk into such a dark space of helplessness themselves that it is possible for them to experience. It is impossible for them to experience anything as intense again. This has the effect of annihilating all fear from their system, so that true peace emanates from within them. The simple presence of such people and the look in their eyes or the softness of their voice can trigger all manner of so-called miracles in those whom they meet. These are the most heart-melting people ever to walk the face of the earth. Wherever they go, the true frequency latent within human suffering is immediately released, and compassion tears open people's chests and explodes inside their hearts. Even the darkest of natures can be instantaneously brought to tears through the presence of this 36th city. With the above in mind and held softly in your heart, perhaps you may come to a deeper intuitive understanding of the true meaning of the Beatitudes, those famous words of Jesus uttered in the Sermon on the Mount. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Whoa. I'm trying to hold back like tears because that was really intense. As I was reading that, my whole body was like vibrating and I was getting chills throughout my whole body. And when that happens, like the tears just like flow. So I was like, oh my God, I gotta keep reading. But that's what happens to me. Dude, this eclipse though, you guys. God, I feel like this, like I just read some fucking sacred ass shit. Yeah. Like, whoa, like, do not touch with dirty hands, you know? Damn. All right. This is going to be, are you ready? This is going to be one of the most powerful fucking eclipses of, like, the most powerful of the whole year. I truly believe that. After reading that, after seeing how the astrology is just like, oh my God. Yes. So, and I feel myself like, I feel myself grounding into my space and finally starting to feel like alive again and inspired again and like wanting to go live and do more broadcasts and film more videos and be more present. And I'm like, woo, whatever the fuck that was energetically these last few months for me, I am so glad that it is over. I feel that it's over. Like I got home, I started cleansing, I started like cleaning up. And I feel this willpower from within to hold steady to like that vision within myself. Like I used to be this way and I lost that. I used to have this like intense desire to like, persevere no matter what, you know? And it's like, I would get like these ideas and these like goals in my head and be like, no one is going to steer me from this fucking path that I have. And then over the years, it's like I lost that. And these last few months, I felt like I really, truly went like way overboard into this abyss of like apathy. And it is not fun. Fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Fuck that shit. Like, I'm so glad. I feel like I'm back. Like, I don't know where I went, but I feel like I'm back. I'm fucking ready to like, damn, just do it. So, so excited. I feel this eclipse already. I've been feeling it for like the last week. And then ever since we entered Virgo, Kayla says, agreed. Ever since we entered Virgo, it's like I can feel myself like gaining strength. Like I'm gaining my strength back. My willpower is how I feel the strongest. Like my determination to like live my life and like follow my dreams and like my goals. But it's more about like this is what I want. And like, I don't care what anybody else says, you know, this is what feels good to me. And so, yeah, it feels like there was like a dark cloud over me for the last few months. And yes. And it's fucking clearing, and it's like, oh my God, I am so excited. And I feel like so much is happening, and there has been huge quantum leaps being taken, like, and appearing in my life. And I'm like, oh my God, it's back. The mojo is back, you know, like it's happening. Like I feel positive again, dude. I have not felt positive or like inspired in a long time. It has been fucking hard. What I've gone through in these last, like the last year has been like the last few years where we've all gone through. I'm like, I'm fucking done. Like I want to come alive again, you know? My spirit wants to be free again. I don't want to feel trapped, because I have been feeling trapped in this like, you know, dark cloud. And it's like, yeah, we're done with that. Yeah, we're carrying water, chopping wood, and now we're ready to build again. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, that's a really good way to put it. So, Satnam, I'm feeling so grateful. I hope you are too. I hope you enjoy the shit out of this eclipse. And guess what? I'm going to be playing music next Tuesday, so you better come and join us here on YouTube. We're going to do an Akashic reading, and I'm going to freaking play my guitar and sing. And I can't wait. Like, I can't wait. Like, I am like fully back. I'm so excited. So like, let's do this. Let's come together during this beautiful eclipse and like freaking, yeah. Anyways, thank you all. Thank you for being here. Exactly, Lish. Yeah, Club Jai. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for always checking all the cool things out. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, next Tuesday. Go into our global community, you guys. All the events are there. They're also on my YouTube, but the events that are here, all the events are over there. These are only the YouTube events. We have more than just YouTube events. So download the Mighty Networks app, create a login, find our network. It's called Channel for Grace, and then join our network, and you'll have access to like our community. It is like, and it's right there on your phone, on an app. It's like the most convenient, epic thing ever. It's like better than any other social media, because we're like directly connected to each other within this community. So come join us there. There's all this free stuff, replays, all this stuff. And we're going to be doing a free event soon. So yeah, I've missed me. Mama O, I've missed me. But shit, man, when you go into the dark night, we just watched the Batman movie the other day, and it was actually so cool. It was like the Batman, like the Dark Knight Rises. And I was like, wow, this is actually a cool one, where he's like, okay, I think I'm done with this chapter of my life. I'm ready to have a life. And it's like, wow, yes, you know? Anyways, thank you. Have a beautiful rest. Come join us Friday for like fun and games, free mini readings. Like, it's gonna be so fun. Like Friday, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, we're just gonna play like high vibes. Let's just like lift the vibration up, have some fun. Satnam, see you soon.